The Governor of Gombe State, Inuwa Yahaya, has approved the immediate suspension of the village head of Garin Majidadi in Akko Local Government Area of the state, Mohammed Majidadi, over his alleged involvement in a transformer theft. The governor also announced the suspension of the council representing Kumo East Ward, Abdullahi Panda. Okay, and moving on, the two suspensions are contained in a statement issued by the Director General, Press Affairs, Government House, Gombe, Ismaila Miseli, and made available to journalists on Friday. The suspensions came in the wake of their arrest and subsequent parade by the State Police Command, as well as their arraignment over allegations of conspiracy in the theft and sale of a community electricity transformer at Garin Majidadi. Mr. Miseli stated that the suspension of both officials were a preventive measure to ensure that there was no interference in the legal process. He quoted the governor to have expressed his administration's commitment to always uphold the rule of law. Now, according to him, the governor further expressed confidence that justice will prevail and that the law would take its course, not only against Majidadi and Panda, but also against any other individuals found to be complicit in the theft. Now, we are talking about, in Gombe State, a traditional ruler who is found stealing a community transformer, and as a matter of fact, selling, I think, in the, I'm not a lawyer, you guys call it grand larceny, right? Okay, so what can you make out of this? Because he has been suspended, a traditional ruler. I'm talking about you, I'm coming to you, Barrister Adam Sassim. What can you make out of this story of a traditional ruler who is who is involved in a theft of a transformer, and as a matter of fact, selling it together with the Council of Ward, Panda?
Thank you. I believe, Nigeria is a country where it's very difficult to be very objective when it comes to political issues and issues that has to border on authority and power over somebody. What am I talking about? The governors, under the various laws of their states, have control, appointment, removal, suspension, etc. of the traditional rulers in their domain.
All right.
We saw what happened in Kano State, another threat coming up from Sokoto State until it was resisted. We also saw what happened in Rivers State, about the traditional council, replacement, etc. by governor. So they have those particular powers over and above traditional rulers in their various domains. The question we want to ask this time and this day is that, for instance, the one happening in Bauchi or Gombe State, as the case may be, the governor of the state used the powers vested in him judicially or judiciously before removing or suspending the traditional ruler. I wouldn't say for now. Two is that under our laws, Section 36 of 5 is saying that there's this presumption of innocence. Even if you are found to be an armed robber, even if you are found to be a big thief, even if you are found, in this case, that you were the person that took the transformer, said there should be presumption of innocence until otherwise proven. Were these taken into cognizance by the governor before removing or suspending the traditional ruler? These are questions we should ask. Now, why I'm so very, kind of stern and having some goose pimples is because of the fact that because of the prevalence of the overuse of authority over traditional rulers lately and recently.
Okay.
I hope this is not an attempt to also remove the traditional ruler of that particular place. I'm not standing for him. But did they do a thorough investigation? Then he's now found complicit. As the police come out with their investigation report before the governor acted, I wouldn't say. Then on the legal aspect of it, I have argued, and I'll continue to argue, that until and unless that we go back to the a 1960, constitution where traditional rulers were given a role to play by virtue of, their house of chiefs, that the governor or the regional leader cannot wake up one morning and just tell a traditional to go or suspended or dethroned, as the case may be. But you go through the House of Assembly for you to do that, to get tutor to do that. I believe that we are going to be having calamities like what we are having right now, and that control over traditional rulers. Now, what am I talking about? Traditional is very helpless. Why is he helpless now? Because under their various laws, traditional rulers are now known as public officers. They are now known as public officers that can be appointed and fired by those who appointed them. That is why we have this kind of problem in Nigeria. The governor is the one that will appoint. Even if my village now decide to say this is Mr. A that we want, you understand? We still have to go and meet the governor to give him what they call the staff of office. Why should that be? It's a traditional stool. You understand? Until we go back to those days that we normally have, dependence of the traditional institution, I think we're going to be having matters of this nature. I want a situation where, like the attack of Igala in 1954, before independence, where the British commander came and said he's going to dethrone him, and he brought a police to arrest him for an offense. He got to the police station and immediately opened his mouth. Bees came out, bees came out like in a hornet, came out and stung both the white man and the police constabularies that were there, and they ran away and they left the station. He went back to his palace and he retained his seat till we got our independence. And nobody ever came close to him because they had those spiritual powers and traditional powers. Until we have such, I don't think that this is strong. We have their independence. It's sad. Even if you feel that he has done this, what is the indicting report from the police? Do you sit down and listen to hearsay evidences to say that, oh, look, this man stole a transformer? It is as the case may be, so he should be suspended, not to interfere. You have already concluded. You have already concluded that is already, culpable in what you are supposed to investigate before you arrive at judgment. That is my own take on this one.
Exactly, because I
was feeling, because he's doing this now because of the fact that he sees that traditional ruler as a political office holder.
Okay.
So he can fire him, he can bring him and suspend him. And he may be acting on political suasion. In Nigeria today, if you ask today, you'll be very surprised that the governor of Gombe State is an APC man, but the traditional ruler involved is a PDP supporter. And you're very surprised, based on that shenanigan suasions, he will go there and say, suspend him, and when they suspend, the next thing is that he's going to be removed, and his own puppet will now be put there that we support. So we have to think with these particular traditional rulers, whatever. It's all government, 36 states, they have the powers to do all these things. And finally on this, traditional rulers must maintain that sense of responsibility in societies.
Okay.
I have never, when I grew up, I could not even go close to the palace of the Otaru. That is the king of my place. I dare not even go close to that place as a child. Because I felt that things that do happen there are in the esoteric and spiritual. So I don't even go near the palace. So even when I got up to this adulthood, I don't go to the palace without being invited. But today, you see traditional rulers coming out of their palaces to come and eat corn outside, even go to Davido's wedding and begin to banter, begin to shake hands and begin to eat chicken openly. People will not respect you. I saw a picture in that Davido's marriage, the highly revered traditional ruler coming out, standing and bantering, shaking hands with everybody. That's a desecration. No matter how educated you are, you cannot be more educated than the Queen of England. Right. The Queen does not, put his throne or her throne into jeopardy. That's why we still have that respect, for that particular, whatever the case may be. I believe they have to imbibe so that these governors will not begin treat them like that. It's not a court that remove him, whatever the case may be.
That's a very good one. And that's my question right now. I was trying to look at it like based on some persons were saying that it's politically masterminded. Do you think it's politically masterminded?
Well, it is very easy to actually say yes. But the truth remains that the fact that a traditional ruler is being alleged to have stolen a transformer is strange. Okay. It's strange. It's strange in the sense that as a traditional ruler, it is his duty to write to the governor of the state that the community needs a transformer. Okay. But for whatever it is, if a traditional ruler should descend or condescend so low to actually conspire or being part of dealing with a community transformer in such a manner that could be tax stealing, I think is condemnable. But however, like my colleague said, it is difficult for us to believe that, in that the whole things that are happening, if you look at the ones that have happened before with respect to traditional rulers, is now political. Now they have actually politicized our traditionals to the extent that a royal highness can no longer be seen to be a royal highness for the people. It is not a royal highness for the government. And anytime he doesn't support the government of the day, they will now look for a way to dethrone him. In my community, Omagwan precisely, they are facing so much trouble with respect to royal highness. Why are they facing so much trouble? They are facing it because the government of the day, when they support this person, if the person goes out of their own camp for any reason, which they will also be the one to describe or the acts that qualify the person to have derailed, they will now say it is no longer that person. That is why in the past, you see them having 2, 3 royal highnesses parading themselves. The one that had the support of the people, the one that had the support of government and all whatnot. My learned friend have said it all. It ought not to be. This thing ought to be separated. The government should not so much interfere with respect to who becomes a royal highness, a traditional ruler. Government should actually distinct from that. They should stay clear from it. Allow the people to know who rules them. And anybody the people bring, let him go in line with the tradition and no longer in line with government whims and caprices. They now appoint, hoping that because they are the chief, they are the Oba, they will use their subject to vote for them in election. Let it be far from it. Let it be very different. Let the ideology be so different. Let it be void of election time, that this traditional ruler will mobilize his subjects to vote. Let it be void of that. And by so doing, we can have what is clear traditional ruler, void of government influences, resulting into good governance at the grassroots. That is what I think. And they can no longer be pushing them around.